So I got a little trick for you. A real simple, easy way that you can always tell who's in charge in any given situation, in any relationship. This is how you can tell. It's actually pretty simple. The person who has a defined task, a defined list of orders, that person is not in charge. Who is in charge? The person that adds on to the required task that other people have to do. So in any situation, and in any relationship, relationships can change, but in any given situation, and in any given relationship, the person who adds on, that's the person that's in charge, or at least they think they're in charge. The person that has defined things that they have to do, that person is not in charge. That person can't be in charge. So the person who adds on, the shit that they add on, sometimes it gets kind of vague. It's like, and when you do this, and then we'll do this. But we might switch it up. Here's another key thing. If any point in time in their actual language coming out of their mouth, or language on print or on screen, if at any point in time they say something like this, yeah, we reserve the freedom to alter things at any given point in time. That's who's in charge. I don't care if you're a slave. I don't care if you're making minimum wage, or if you're a rich celebrity fucking athlete or entertainer. If you have defined tasks that you have to do, you're not in charge. I don't give a fuck if you're making $50 million a year. If in your contract it says you play basketball, you drive cars, you hit golf balls, whatever the fuck it is, if in your contract it says this is what you do, and then you are compensated, you are not in charge. The person who's in charge, that person or those people, they say, you do this, and then we'll add on top of it. It's essentially like, you go dig that hole, you go plant the seed, you go till the soil, get it all ready, and put that seed in there. And maybe fucking water it too. And we'll provide the sunshine when it's sunny. You see what I'm saying? If anything, even in a personal relationship, if you, the person that you're with, says things to you like, you do this, I need you to do this so that I can do this, they think they're in charge. Now maybe it is. I mean, like, you know, whatever, relationships. And here's the thing about control. There's always a battle for control, consciously, subconsciously, covertly or overtly. There's always a dance around control. It's not really an inescapable dynamic. And so any person who gives control could be playing a very insidious game. Because later on, they may say, hey, remember when I granted control, when I gave away control, when I said you decide? Now I'm deciding. So control is always present. It's always present. It doesn't have to be a battle, but it is always a dance. Somebody is leading in a certain way and somebody is following in a certain way, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but you do have to recognize it. And so part of the way that you recognize it is like I say, the person that is in charge, they may tell you, do A, B, and C. Or you may come to them and say, hey, I'm going to do A, B, and C. Well, what the fuck are they going to do? Doesn't matter, because they're in control. See what I'm saying? If you owned a business, and say you own the bakery, and you hire people and so on and so forth, and you give them the work schedule for the day, the work schedule for the week, what are you going to tell them? You're going to say something similar to, you show up, you clock in, You perform certain tasks, certain duties. You clock out. You eventually get paid. You've aligned to them what they're going to do, maybe even the time and the way that they're going to do it. And then they get paid. You're in control. That's why. They don't come to you and say, hey, I might be in Monday. I'm going to do something different on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you know what? I'm going to be boss that day. No. You do what the fuck I tell you to do. Or at least, you do what has been defined. You do what's been laid out. You do as you're told. Even if you agree with it, even if you think that's what you're supposed to do it. Do that. You don't really get to ad-lib. You don't really get to add on. You're the foundation. The person in control, they add on. Now, their payment is delayed. Their gratification is delayed. That's part of the price of ownership. But you dictate the terms. You add the seasoning on top of that motherfucker. But they're the steak. You see what I'm saying? They're the steak. They're the meat and potatoes. They're the foundation. So in any situation, whether it's work, whether it's church, whether it's your personal relationship, your friendship, anybody who is either giving you tasks to do, specific tasks to do to complete, or anybody that you feel the need to offer up specific tasks to do to complete, that's your boss. In some way, shape, or form, in that relationship, in that instance, that's your boss. And me as a Sigma male, I recognize control. The control dynamic is always around. And so one of the things that Sigma males do is we kind of pick and choose when we're going to be in control. And it fucks with some people because you'll have people who are used to being in control, but they can't control you. No, you can't. And you have some people who are used to being controlled. I'm not going to control you. Sigma males, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what makes us beautifully, uniquely frustrating, is that when you need someone to follow your command, Sigma male, that's not really what we do. We need a certain amount of freedom to exercise the brain power and the creativity that we have. But that's what I'm saying. When someone gives you specific tasks to complete, there's no room for creativity, really. You do what they told you to do. You complete what they told you to complete. And so, Sigma males, when we are engaged in it, when we believe in it, oh yeah, fully, let's do it. This is what I said I would do. This is what we need me to do. It's done. I'm committed to it. But when you try to make somebody, a chess piece and move them around the board, when you give them tasks to do and then don't allow for their individuality or their creativity. But like I say, on the flip side, if you need someone to command people and tell people what to do and where to go and how to look and what to say, that's not really a Sigma male either. Because once again, we appreciate and recognize someone's individuality and the uniqueness that they can bring to the situation. But my point being, going to conclude things, is that it's really simple, like I say, to tell who's in charge. But once you peep that out, it takes you to a little bit deeper level, which is, now, what does that mean in terms of you? What does that mean in terms of this situation and what you're involved in? Do you want this person to have control of you? Do you want this situation, this environment to have control of you? Or will you exercise some control and say, yeah, I may complete that task, but I'm going to do it the way that I do it? Do you have that freedom? Do you have that flexibility? Because if you don't, you are most definitely not in control. But if you do have the ability to say, yeah, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it a little different. I got a little something. I got a little something for it. Or I changed it up. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do this a different way. If you can be strategic minded, someone who's strategic minded, that's usually the person that's in control. If nothing else, they're in control of themselves. If you're not strategic minded, if really you're just like, look, tell me what to do, tell me where to go, you're going to end up in a lot of situations where you are not in control. And if that's fine with you, that's fine. Some people, like I say, some people give it up. Just tell me what to do. You know, I'm focusing on something else. So for right now, I need you to grab the steering wheel. But where they take you, I don't know. And will you be happy to be there when they take you there? But if you every now and then can exercise some control, test this out in your relationship, test this out in whatever situation you're in. Somebody gives you specific tasks, goals, requirements that you need to meet, or you're fucking up, try to throw in some wiggle room. Try to throw in your own creativity. Say, you know what? I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to do it a little bit earlier than I said. I'm going to do it a bit later than I said. I'm not going to do it at all. I'm going to do something else. And if they shut your shit down, you are most definitely not in control. And you're in a situation that could end up becoming abusive, maybe. But if you're in a situation where you speak up and you say, I want to put a little wrinkle in things. I got some ideas. I got a way that I think this task can be accomplished even better. Or maybe we do something else and then I don't have to accomplish that task. That task was a waste of time. If you can do that, if you can implement that, you just exercise some control. You just took a little bit of control. You just got a little bit stronger. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really simple. It's actually pretty simple. Speak the fuck up and state what you want to do, what you want to provide. But if you don't, that's fine. That's fine. Some people like to let other people drive. But when they drive the way that they drive, when they take you where they want to take you, you can't really say anything then. You should have said something before. So to conclude, you know what I'm saying, for my family out there, Diversified, your boy, you can see different other diversified content on my 24-hour streaming channel. It's Diversified. It's at 24hourstreaming.com. And like I say, you know, just kicking some more knowledge for different people out there, different shit that I done picked up over the years. Tell me if it works for you. Tell me if you agree or disagree. Whatever the fuck. But I'm out. Stay up.